Welcome back and thank you for joining me. So, in this one, we're going to continue our conversation by adding and subtracting rational expressions. However, this time I want you to notice right off the bat that these are not common denominators anymore. All right? So, today's emphasis is going to be what do we do when we don't have common denominators? Well, the key to not having common denominators, the key is getting one. So, what I want you to notice is this first one, okay, that is missing this x plus 3 piece in the denominator, correct? So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply top and bottom by that piece that it's missing. I want you to notice this second one, that is missing the x plus 4. And so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by that x plus 4. So you're looking for what are each of them missing. And then you multiply top and bottom by the piece that's missing. Because now I'm creating a common denominator. Okay, and the common denominator that I'm creating is a combination of those two. Okay, and the cool thing is you can just leave the denominator looking like that. The fact that it's already factored is awesome, so just leave it. But that's going to be our common denominator. And now what's left? Well, now I have to worry about the top. Well, on top, let's distribute this. So 2x times x is a 2x squared. 2x times 3 is a 6x. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 4 is 20. So let's clean up the top a little bit. So I have 2x squared. 6x plus 5x is 11x. And then the bottom, again, you can just leave alone. I don't expect you to do anything else to the bottom. Now the top actually doesn't simplify at all. I can't end up factoring that. So I'm not even going to bother showing you in the video like the guess and check process. Just in this case, it's not going to end up factoring. So that is how we can leave our solution. Okay, just looking right like that. And again, the point being, we're getting the common denominator. That's the big new piece for today, is getting that common denominator. So let's do that same process. So notice this first fraction right here, it is missing the x minus 2 that fraction has. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by the x minus 2 that it's missing. Notice this fraction over here is missing that x plus 5. So that piece that it's missing, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by it to create a common denominator. Because now notice what my common denominator is. I have x minus 2 and x plus 5. It's the merger of those two bottoms. Okay? And now let's deal with the top. X squared minus 2x. Now here, remember this negative here. So really, I'm going to picture that as a negative 4. So when I distribute this, I get negative 4x minus 20. Okay, so for the subtraction problems, again, remember that you're carrying that negative with it, okay? Don't forget that. That is very important that you know that you're carrying that negative throughout when you're distributing. And finally, I can clean up the top a little bit. Oh, negative 2x minus 4x is a negative 6x. And again, in these ones, it's very rare for the top to be able to factor. So in this case, again, I'm just going to tell you it does not end up being able to be factored. So we can just leave it. And finally, one last problem to finish practicing this skill. So again, this piece right here is missing the x minus 1. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by that piece that it's missing. This piece over here, that is missing the x plus 6. So I multiply top and bottom by the x plus 6. And now I have a new common denominator. X minus 1, x plus 6 is my new common denominator. And now for the rest of it, all I do is simplify. So I'm going to distribute that 3x to both of these. So I end up with a 3x squared minus 3x. Same thing, distribute the 2. So plus 2x plus 12. So when I clean up the top, a negative 3x plus 2x is a minus x. Then again, the bottoms, don't worry about doing anything with the bottom. You already have a factored form, so you can actually just completely leave it as is. And that's going to be the end of our problem. All right, so when you're working through these, again, please just make sure you have all of them written down. And then please make sure you ask if you have any questions before we get you started on your practice work.